We are sponsor-proof. We are an event sponsorship management software platform. We have a very core functionality here. We enable sponsors and event organizers to document, track, manage, and report their sponsorship activities. When you look at the big picture, $46 billion are spent globally every year on sponsorship. We're not quite that greedy, guys. We're thinking about a little bit smaller piece of the pie. In fact, we won't only focus on the billion-dollar component in North America spent on events around the music industry to launch our business, and specifically major music festivals and major music tours. Okay? And of that, what is the problem? Think about this. $1 billion are being spent by sponsors. We're talking just the corporate dollars, not talking ticket sales. And there's no communication about the real value being given by the organization to those sponsors after the fact. Think of some very simple kind of documents to say, hey, we had an event, here's some photos, and here's what you got. But there's no real analytics, there's no reporting. So you're talking about $1 billion being spent because it feels good. And there's a problem with that. What is that? 2,500 music festivals and major events take place in the United States every single year. Think about this. 15 average event, each event, 15 average corporate sponsors per event, times 2,500 events. That is 37,500 opportunities for event marketers to talk to their sponsors and say, here's the value we gave you. And guess what? It's not happening. And there's a pain point. They want to get that information, but there's no easy way to manage it. What's the problem for the event operators? The event operators, the organizers, they're saying, hey, are we doing all the things we're supposed to do? We have all this stuff they've got to track and manage, and it's not easy to do. They're using spreadsheets and Google Docs. Okay? Sponsors, did we get a real value for our investment? What do we really know we got? What kind of bang for the buck was there? Guess what? They don't know. So, we need to solve that problem. So we asked 4 industry experts over the course of the last 48 hours. First here locally, we asked Josh Baker. He runs MOKB events with Dodge. He also has ran a national music festival called Monolith in Denver. In addition to that, reached out to the West Coast and also down to Austin. In Austin, we reached out to Brendan Hanna. He runs Transmission Entertainment. Austin is the live music capital of the world. Brendan operates multi-million-dollar programs at major venues in Austin. West Coast, talked to Paul Thompson. Now, he works at Zenbrite today, but before, he was running Esurance's event marketing budget. We're talking nearly $1 million budget. Okay, he's spending time putting real dollars in the marketplace. And that's out on the East Coast, Parag Brandari. Okay, now Parag, really cool guy. He's representing brands like Armani Exchange, Heineken, JetBlue, buying dollars at live music events all around the country. Okay, so we talked to these guys. We also talked to some guys locally, thinking about the smaller marketplace. So again, Josh happens to work in both sectors. We talked about that. We talked to Daniel Farner. He's a local promotion company here. He also had an opportunity to run recently Rogers Music Fest. We talked to a local dentist who does a lot of event sponsorship. He calls himself the rock dentist. Okay, and then Eric Davis, who's a local sponsor, a local car dealership that puts a lot of money in this community. National audience, local audience. Significant opportunity for sponsors. Start plotting. Where do these events fall? The small guys down here, big dollar budget, big national audiences up there. Right? How about the actual sponsors, the money, where the money's coming from? Big budgets, small local budgets. We started asking some questions to these experts and these guys with experience, what the pain points are. We found out the pain points for both audiences are the same. Alright? The problem is, those guys down there don't want to spend a lot of money on it, but they need to be using the tools to make these guys understand the value. So we had to think about that problem. And so we decided this software management tool we would create would have 6 core functions. 1, list the deliverables. What are you going to get? 2, document the activity. Every time something happens at the event, prove it to your sponsors. 3, add demographic data when you have that information available. 4, track relevant statistics. Who's talking about it on Twitter? What kind of information are you getting from hits and media, etc. Send out updates and alerts, and finally, generate reports. Our minimum viable product to roll out in the marketplace in 30 days are these 3 functions. The other products can be built in about 60 to 90 days with low MVP. We're going to get past that in about 120 days. So you log into your account, you see your dashboard, super intuitive interfaces. You have an opportunity to look and see who your sponsors are, what publicity you're getting, upload relevant files, see your task list as an organizer. You jump in as a sponsor. Who am I reaching? What kind of results am I getting? And of course, you also get to see what are all the different ways we're getting media and press. How's my dollars being spent bringing me money? How do we build customers? We want to focus on event organizers. We're going to give some event organizers a tool. Number 2, they're going to be sending these reports and reporting out to their major sponsors. Next, that's going to want them to ask other event sponsor, hey, why aren't you using the same kind of tool? 3, so they start using it and exposing it to sponsors. 4, that creates more events using the software, which means more sponsors. Low dollar amount, high dollar revenue, right? If we get the event organizers using the software, the big guys make it happen.
All right, so you talked to the experts. What did they say?
Well, first of all, they validated the problem. Okay, there's a huge disconnect. The sponsors, the guys representing the big dollars being spent, they really want the solution. They're adamantly saying it's difficult. We're spending hundreds of hours a year trying to figure out what we paid for, what we actually got, and is there real value for it. So they're looking for a solution. If we'd gotten a little further with time, better time management, we'd have shown you the fact that in our pricing schedule, these major organizations and the 4 buckets we put them in are willing to spend between $8,000 and $20,000 a year for the solution because it will save them that kind of time and money. The large corporations, the global corporations' budgets for this type of solution can anywhere exceed between $30,000 and $60,000 a year. And those are real numbers from the guys who are saying, I would spend that today to give me a solution.
So they're using, what are they using today?
Excel.
Why are they using
And
Excel?
email. That's all they have. They have no easy way. Think about it. You're an event marketer. You start sending some pictures via email. Hey, here's today's event. You send them one sheet on the demographics of who attended. You give them maybe a stat on how many people showed up via email. And then you, as the event marketer who's spending millions of dollars, has to go to your CMO and say what you just spent that millions of dollars on. And they got to aggregate all that together, have their staff work on it, assign their intern, rush to get it together, and put it out the door. And you're doing that just for one event, but all the events you sponsor. This solution aggregates all that, so you can be managing multiple events.
Are you touching the transaction?
No. We are a data house, we are a management tool, we are tracking all the information, and we are providing the information.
Why not? Why not?
Why not what?
Well, I mean, to me, that would pay for it. You take a slice of the transaction.
Of the sponsorship itself? I don't believe, from what conversation we heard from the experts, that what they want to do is involve a third party in the transaction process. And I'd be very scary about, we're talking about budget sponsorships of $60,000, $100,000, $500,000 for the bigger events like Bonnaroo or others, or even small events where we're talking $5,000 or $10,000 or $500. Why do we need to have a third party integration into that? Well, simply we can have a core price point and go that for it. The marketplace told us that's what they wanted. They just want a simple tool to manage everything. Other questions?
Is it the event planners or the people spending money? That's
Both. Our model is very cheap service for the event planners. Either you're a local guy or a national event, you're going to pay $99 a month, or $90 a year, or $299 a year as an event organizer. And then based on the size of corporation, corporate sponsor who's using the tool, your price point is going to go anywhere from, again, $99 for a whole year service, all the way up to that larger, $10,000 to $50,000 model. And why that number is so high, it sounds like crazy numbers. We were shocked when we were having these phone conversations and someone dropped and said, we pay $50 grand for that solution because we're spending several $1 million and we need to know where we're spending it, is because when you get to those bigger global brands, you've got lots of team members managing lots of events all over the country. And we're talking the price per seat is really more like a couple $1,000 or less per user to use all these tools. So it gets to be really cost effective for them.